Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good to see you.
I'm happy to see you as well.
How are you, sir? It's nice having you on board.
I'm very well. I'm very well. And you?
Okay, so welcome, Sunday. We'll be starting in the next few minutes. Let's just wait for a while for our some of our participants to join in. And how was your day, sir? TGIF.
But we are planning for the Friday party. You know, we just have to enjoy ourselves.
Wow, it's good to have you.
Well, thank God it's Friday.
Okay. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday. A lot. It's just that for some of us, Friday is not much different. If weekend will be full of maybe rest, well, weekend is full of lineups of activity. Well, at least it's not a work week. It is not a work day rather. So it's just that looking at Friday, weekend, let's rest. No. There's other things you need to do. So the work continues. That's just the summary. Well, can you hear me, please? Kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Very well.
Okay. So, okay. Since we have someone joining. Okay.
Your mic is on mute.
Okay. But can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you very well now.
Okay.
Very well.
Great. So welcome once again, Sunday. I'm really excited having you on board, and it's our delight also at Zillion Head generally to my team. We are excited that you are here with us to share value, and we're expecting some participants to join in. I believe they should be planning to join in any time from now because they've been informed it's a brief conversation. We know you're a busy person, so it's not our intention to take the whole of your time today. So within some minutes, this meeting is scheduled for less than an hour. So, and we hope we would be able to drive the conversation even within the available time that has been scheduled for these events. So Temitope, you're welcome. She's our co-founder. She's the co-founder of Zillion Edge. That's my wife. She's part of us in this meeting. So we are looking forward to others to join us. I've done I did a reminder not quite long. So, but prior to we having other people joining, let's just start one or two gist as usual. So today is Friday. I can see you are on a shirt and a suit. Mr. Sunday, is it that you don't wear natives?
This business. So when we are out there, we can do anything. Maybe on
Wow.
Saturday or Sunday.
As in, it's nice seeing you. It's nice seeing your face. So I believe strongly that you are loaded to pour into the mind of our participant today. And it's a maiden edition of the event. The plan is for us to keep having this periodically, let's say on a monthly basis, because what I've discovered from my recent engagement with small businesses is that a lot of them don't seem to prioritize the aspect of financial records. I don't know if you've noticed that there's so much emphasis on every other thing. When it comes to accounting, keeping records and all of that, it doesn't seem to be a key matter until maybe there's a need for you to seek for funding, or you need to get a loan from the bank and they're asking you for your books and all. You start seeing them, looking for maybe accountant and the likes, or even their own individual accountants to come to their aid. So, and as a professional, I don't think that's the best approach to managing a business. And that's why I want to have this conversation today. How can we get our records right? There's a lot of records in the business environment. You have records that has to do with customer database. You have records that has to do with even procurement, marketing related, research and development. But one of the core records is the accounting records, and we just have to get it right as business owners. We can't afford not to get that area right. And Sunday is here with us today to help us, open that up. And we believe strongly that everyone that is participating live and those who will watch this probably through the records, any of our social media platform, you have a lot to benefit within the next few minutes. So just make sure you watch to the end, because there's a lot of quick updates to learn. Our guest is here with us. We've been chatting. He's my friend. He's my boss as well. He's my friend and a boss. So you won't understand. Don't worry. That's not the conversation for this platform. But he's someone, he's gentle. You can see him. He's just looking, he's a young man, definitely. But he's loaded. So plan your question. You can drop your question in the chat box. And if you'll be watching this, maybe the recorded version of this event, you can drop your question via any of the social media platforms. Of course, our team will harvest your question and get back to you through any available means you have provided to be reached back to, or probably through the same platform you dropped the question. So right now we're going into the conversation while we await other live participants to join us. So the topic is getting your records right, accounting perspective. Aside from other record issues you need to take note of in your organization, we are looking the aspect of accounting, and we have the person we have in our midst rather is well, knowledgeable, well experienced to handle this topic. As some of you might have observed on the flyer, he's a manager at Mazza, right? So am I correct? Mazza Nigeria. So, and that's just one of his portfolio, quite right. If you go to LinkedIn, you will see that Sunday is someone who has a strong background when it comes to financial audit, and he's an accountant by excellence. So he's not coming here to read manual to you. So if you are here, you are privileged to be learning from someone like Sunday, precisely Mr. Sunday Hanaku. Let me add a Mr. to his name, Mr. Sunday Anaku. So, and am I right with that pronunciation for your surname? Just to, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we'll be hearing from him within the next few minutes. And this conversation will go in form of a question and answer. We have some questions we'll be asking him, and he will provide answers to them. And in the course of this question and answer, definitely you would have learned so much. So right now, I just want us to, I'm coming, just trying to get some, to give you the proper view. Okay. Okay. Okay, so right now we're going to the conversation, and I would want you all to pay closer attention so that you can all maximize this session. So what are we to discuss? Getting your records right. Getting your records right. And I know many of us right here watching this or participating right now, you have a lot of questions to ask as relating to your business records. Some of the expectation that was shared on the while we're receiving responses from the registration platform is that people want to know how they can digitalize their accounting process, and there's so much around harnessing the value provided by the by technology to improve your record processes. So you will definitely hear from that as well from Sunday as we progress in this conversation. So Sunday, we would like you to just tell us as an SME owner, as a business owner, when it comes to accounting records, what are the common mistakes that people make when it comes to their record keeping? We need to get this record right. So we cannot afford not to identify some of the mistakes that, based on your vast experience as a financial auditor with several accomplished field work, what are the things we need to take note of as in common mistakes that business owners made when it comes to the accounting records that our participant needs to take note of? Probably they can then improve on any of these mistakes that is currently existing in their own business processes. Thank you, Sunday. Can you hear me, Sunday?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for this opportunity. I really appreciate. Right. So as you have rightly said, I'm a manager at Mazars Nigeria. So I've been working for over a decade, right? So I'm here to share my experience with you guys, just to be sure that you are not missing out anything when it comes to running a business, right? So to address the first question, the common mistakes that SME makes in record keeping, right? So what I've discovered over the years is that so many businesses, when it comes to SME, fails to implement a proper bookkeeping process, right? So what I mean by that is that they fail to have a policy around how their books should be kept, right? So they realize to understand that when they have a great bookkeeping habit, it helps them to make a better decision and also spot opportunities early, right? So it also helps them to monitor the financial health of the business, and also if there are any issues that may arise, maybe for example from taxes, they will be able to tackle it as a call. So so basically they fail to have a proper bookkeeping process. And also another thing I've discovered is that some business owners who want to do everything by themselves. They are the business development manager. They are also the accountant. So they fail to understand that they can't manage all of these. So they can manage the business side, while the accounting function can be outsourced to an expert, because I believe most SMEs do not have the capacity to hire an experienced accountant like chartered accountant. So it's advisable for them to outsource the finance function to an experienced accountant. So these are one of the things I've noticed over the years. Bookkeeping process and business owners wanting to do everything by themselves, amongst others. I don't know if I've been able to address the question, Mr. Olajide.
Yeah, Sunday, you've spoken. You really addressed that question. Absolutely, you did justice to that question. And as you've rightly said, there's a critical point you made as concerning owners of businesses trying to do everything, by themselves. Of course, you can imagine the kind of task you have as an individual, as in you as an accountant, or maybe a consultant managing a company's business. Now you comparing that with a lot of other activities within the business, it's really indeed a task, and it's not advisable for a business owner to manage all that. Can you hear me?
Do the right thing by having the right policy, by engaging the right personnel to. So Mr. Olajide is back on the call, so we can continue from there. So
yeah, so
Mr. Olajide,
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, apologies for that. Just a network fluctuation. So quickly, we'll go into the next question. So can you help us explain briefly the difference between bookkeeping and accounting for our business owners on this call? As in, what are the things we need to understand when it comes to bookkeeping and accounting? It's of course, as professionals, we might have a clear understanding, but someone on this call or someone watching this later might not really understand how to differentiate the two from their day-to-day operations. So what do we need to know as concerning bookkeeping? What do we need to know as concerning accounting? Are they the same? Are there differences? Can we just look into that because of our participants? Thank you, Sunday.
So thanks for that question. It's one of the common questions that we do receive, right? So the difference between bookkeeping and accounting, that was a question, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So I will try to be basic, because I believe that there are so many people on this call that are not accountants. So I'll try to, as much as possible, to avoid jargons. So the two terms, bookkeeping and accounting, actually deals with financial transaction of a company or a business. They are usually used as synonymous, but both of them have different functions, right? So the difference between bookkeeping and accounting is that bookkeeping keeps a record of all financial transactions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bookkeeping keeps a record of all the business financial records, whereas accounting interprets, analyze, and summarize the financial records that the business has kept. So the major difference is that bookkeeping has to do with capturing of data, right? While accounting has to do with analyzing, summarizing, and interpreting whatever you have recorded in your accounting system. So for better decision making by the owner. So that's basically the difference. So when you're looking at bookkeeping, you're looking at how you can capture your business records, how to do with expenses, revenue, and other business related activities. While accounting goes beyond just capturing data. So you have to look at how you can better use the data you've captured in enhancing your business. I think I've been able to answer that question. You're on
Yeah,
mute,
yeah, you really did justice, and I hope our participants have really understood the difference between the two as relating to their businesses now. So quickly, let's just check what are the benefits of keeping a proper accounting records for a small business owner. What are the benefits?
So the benefits, they are enormous, right? They are thousands. We can't mention
Awesome.
everything. So, but
Wow.
I will try to
The key
summarize
ones. Let's just
everything
look at the key
for you
ones.
guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, the first is what I call, sense of purpose and planning. So what I mean by that is that, if you have a proper accounting record, right, it will help you in planning for your business, right? It helps you to plan for where you want to see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years. It helps you to determine the functions or the departments that are not actually performing to the target of the business. So it helps you to manage your business on a goal. So because you have the necessary financial data to play around with. But another thing again is that, of course, you need to finance the business. So if you don't have the record to present to your potential investors, you won't be able to get the necessary funding. So it enables you to push potential investors if you have
Yeah.
the proper accounting records. So, and lastly, what I will also be mentioning to you is that if you have a proper books of record, it means that one of the steps to becoming a tax compliant has already been fulfilled, because if you don't have the proper books of record in place, you are actually violating one of the tax laws in the country. So I think I've been able to summarize it into three.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, like this.
You have absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And those are the key points. One of the 2 or 3 points that you mentioned that is very critical is the fact that when you want to pitch for funding, whether from a venture capitalist or institution, now funding from maybe financial institutions like banks and microfinance banks, commercial banks and the likes, even if it's a mortgage, definitely before someone will drop money for you to manage for whatever it is you want to manage it for, you will need to present a books of records that shows that you are a good custodian of the wealth they're handing over to you. So that's very key. And the area of tax is very key as well, statutory functions. You cannot afford not to have a proper books of account, because when those guys comes, they will just, do the needful. That's just the summary. Can you hear me, Sunday?
Very well. I can hear you
Yeah,
very well.
they will do the needful. So let's look at 2 more questions, and then we allow our participants joining us live to ask 1 or 2 questions. So firstly, we have, let's just clarify, I've encountered some business owners that will be asking you, is it compulsory for me to have a business account with bank? They prefer to use their own personal account for some transactions. I don't know why though, but I believe maybe at the early stage of the business, the process of opening an account and all could be stressful to some of these business owners. So let's just clarify this. Why is it important as when it comes to you keeping a proper record, getting it right with your record now? Why is it important to have an official business account, not just maybe, of course, you are the owner, a sole trader business, or of course, a limited business, you can't use your personal account, quite right, based on the law. But as a sole trader, why is it important? Even if you're a micro business, why is it important to get your own account separated from your bank account, as in your business account? Why is it important? Can we look into that?
Thanks for the question, Mr. Olajide. I think my response would be that yes, it's important to have a separate business account, right? Because in accounting, in the business world, there's what we call um, separate business entity. That is, the business is different from its owner, right?
Yeah.
So it's advisable for a business owner to have a separate account for the business and a separate account to capture all private transactions that have to do with the business owner. So you keep the activities of the business separate from the personal activities. So one of the benefits is that when it comes to taxes, the tax man they are concerned about the inflows in your bank statement. So if you have a certain amount that does not relate to the business, there's no way you can justify it. They want to tax the inflow, and it causes a lot of problems in practice. So that's why we usually advise our clients to have a separate business account. Also, to have a good picture of the business, right? For example, if you have some personal expenses that do not relate to the business, it affects your bottom line in terms of profit or loss. You might be reporting a loss, whereas the actual result of the business is not actually a loss, because the reason is because you lump all the expenses together, both business and private expenses. So I think those are the benefits. There are other ones that we will be looking at maybe later in the day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunday, for that enlightenment. I believe some of us on this call now would have get a proper understanding of why it is important to have an official business account for your enterprise, not just using your own accounts to run transactions. One of the key points again is it allows for easy reconciliation, because imagine using your personal account to collect all the 6-digit transactions you have made within the space of, let's say, a month or 2 months. How would you reconcile when you want to check the money you receive for business and the ones you receive from other people as in other persons? Or maybe you are the type that you have a lot of responsibility. Uncle, send me money. And uncle said, and you are just sending from your personal account. At the end of the day, you have a lot of transactions mixed with both business and personal, and it will be difficult because you don't even have an accountant that is helping you reconcile. So imagine you running other business engagements, and you are now sitting again trying to pick transaction one after the other and separate. Oh, this one is for business, this one is for no. It's better, aside from the key point which our guest has made, it's very crucial for you to, and it's very easy. It's very easy. Just get as a sole trader, I guess a payer ID is what you need. And as a limited company, do your TIN, approach any financial institution or banks. An account person there will take you through the process, and before you know it, you are done with opening an official, bank account for your business. So as we are rounding up on this phase of the conversation, I just wanted to identify two things quickly. Which is better for a business that is moving from micro to small and is already approaching medium? Is it still advisable to keep running the accounting function or to outsource it? And when you're outsourcing your accounting function, what are the things you need to consider as a business owner? Can we quickly look at that?
Thanks for that question, right? So one of the key things we just have to look at when considering whether to outsource a particular function to an expert or to keep it in-house is that you need to look at the cost involved. Is it actually beneficial to keep the function in-house or to outsource that particular function to an expert somewhere else? So you need to look at the cost-benefit analysis of outsourcing that particular function. Then another thing you need to also be mindful of is that, from my experience, for small businesses, what I have seen is that it's actually beneficial, right, for them to outsource their accounting function or finance function to a chartered accountant or a firm of chartered accountants. The reason is because a small business will not have the required resources to keep an experienced chartered accountant in-house. Let's say, for example, an
Exactly.
SME cannot afford to a single staff 500,000, 400,000 because of the level of experience required. So that's why it's usually advisable for small businesses to outsource the finance function. Because if you outsource the function to an expert, the expert might charge you, let's say, between 50,000 to 200,000 to manage your books on a monthly basis. So if you compare the cost to the money you spent on keeping the staff in-house, it's actually a lot. So it will save you a lot of money. So I think for micro to small business, my answer would be yes, they should outsource their finance function after doing the cost benefit analysis.
Wow, that's very, very, very key. Thank you so much, Sunday. Thank you so much. CBA is very key. You need to do your cost benefit analysis. Take that down if you are taking notes. The actual fact is, what's the essence of you outsourcing something at the end of the day? It doesn't worth it. So, and if you place value, of course, if you have joined this conversation from the start, you would have realized the fact that it's important to do what Sunday have said now, because your accounting function is very, very key. You cannot afford to take that function for granted. Thank you so much, Sunday. Lastly, what would be your, like, a closeout statement with our guests and those who watch this after now? What would you advise startups to do?
What I would advise
general advice,
startups in Nigeria to do is that they need to do a business need assessment just to be sure that they are doing the right thing. And also, when it comes to their finance, the finance function of the business, they need to also consider whether to outsource the finance function to an expert due to the benefit that may accrue from doing so, right? So they need to have a business counsel that can advise them as the need arises. So I'll just advise you to get an expert to review the way you have been doing your business and also look at whether to actually outsource the finance function to an expert or not. I think that's what I have for my listeners. Thanks,
Oh, thank you so much, Sunday. We are excited having you aboard. So we just want to take a question. We've said earlier that this conversation will be very brief. So I don't know if we have a question from Richman and Temitope. Do we have any question from any of you? Is there a question from anyone before we call it a day? Okay. In the absence of further questions, I would like to announce quickly that this is just a tip of an, how did they call it now? A tip of an iceberg, right? It's just the start of something great that will continue from Zillion Edge. So, and we're excited to have started this with a friend to the house, that's Sunday Anaku. And I want everyone that will watch this afterwards, particularly a participant that couldn't make it, you will definitely get this via email, the link to watch this just for record purposes. Okay, Temitope, we've seen your question. We'll address it before leaving now. So kindly watch, follow us up on our various social media and to keep abreast of the various updates, trainings, events that will be coming from Zillion Edge. And we also want you to know that this is a an enterprise that is poised towards creating value to help your business. So if you have questions or there are issues currently in which you are facing, or you want to even upgrade to outsourcing your account, we are positioned to help you, sort that out. So you can always reach out to us through our social media handles, or better still, you send a mail, detailing what you want to ZillionEdge, inquiry@zillionedge.org. So we're also on Google search. We are virtually everywhere you want to check, so just type ZillionEdge, you'll see us pop up with our logo, and then we'll take it from there. So Sunday, before we call it a day, Temitope asked a question. She said, at what point, based on revenue, should a startup begin accounts? I guess what she's trying to say here is, at what point should a startup begin taking proper accounting records based on revenue? At what point?
Thank you for the question, Temitope. So when it comes to record keeping, there's no criteria to starting keeping records. So the main thing you need to watch out for is that as soon as you commence your business activity, at that point, you need to start keeping the proper books of accounts. When it comes to revenue assessment, right, so that applies to taxes. Maybe, for example, at what point should you remit income taxes to FIRS, Federal Income Revenue Service? So those are the things you need to consider when it has to do with taxes. But bookkeeping, as soon as you commence operation, you just have to start doing the right thing by keeping the proper books. Fine.
Awesome. Temitope, I hope that's answered your questions. So if you have any further question, you can always send it to our email or via any of our social media, and you get a feedback. So thank you so much, Richmond, Temitope, for joining. And as many of us that watch this after now, thank you so much for watching, as well as reaching out to us after you've watched. If you need anything of value from ZillionEdge. And Sunday, we are so much happy to have you on board this afternoon. Thank you so much. We look forward to a bigger opportunity, a bigger platform event to create, much value to people. Of course, this was intentional because we don't want to take too much of our time, because this is a working hour, and we know most of us, we're in our various business premises, and you just quickly, maybe part of your lunch break, you just join this meeting. And so thank you so much, Sunday. Our guest is a busy person as well, so we need to let him go within the next few minutes. So follow us on our social media platform at ZillionEdge for Instagram. You go to LinkedIn, we are ZillionEdge Consulting, and when you go to Twitter, ZillionEdge, Facebook, ZillionEdge, we are there. So you can chat us up, you can reach us. Our contact is also, you can get our contact details via Google search. We are there as well, or you just go to https://zillionedge.org. You get other information we need from there. So subsequent trainings, you get updates from us. And I can assure you, if you can follow us consistently within the space of 6 months, you would have acquired at least a relative mini MBA from the various trainings we have structured for every business owners, and not just limited to Nigeria alone, across the globe. Yeah, across the globe. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Do have a pleasant day. Thank you. Sunday, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Totally. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me on board. All right. See you again.
Yeah. Richmond, thank you. Temitope, thank you. Bye, everyone. You can now continue your...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you. I'm hearing your voice.
Yes, sir.